Hey guys, Doug with Matic Rifleman. Today we're going to be talking about shotguns and things that accompany them on the internet. Namely, here's a few myths that accompany shotguns and some truth or some falseness behind them. So, myth number 1. Shotguns are incredibly simple weapon systems. This one's kind of true and kind of false at the same time. So, it is true that this is a very simple weapon system to understand, but the actual use of it in a ever-changing environment can be very complicated or harder to master. I equate these kind of to the way of a revolver. A revolver is a very simple weapon system to understand and to initially operate. However, the mastery of that revolver takes a significantly larger dedication to master than, say, a Glock 19, right? Because yes, you have to load a magazine, but then once you load that magazine and insert it in the weapon system and run it, everything after that, I mean, it's pretty darn simple. You know, you have a couple loaded magazines, not much to think about to put a new magazine in and hit a slide release or pull a slide back. That's pretty much it. Shotguns are similar in the way that for that first 5 rounds, yes, it's simple, with the caveat that you are the action, so you are more likely to mess something up than a regulated gas system or piston system. But it is true, assuming you fully rack the pump every single time you use it, they are pretty reliable weapon systems with the appropriate ammunition, of course. But you know, you have to keep the thing full and make sure that your ammunition is appropriate for the task at hand. There's a lot more to think about with shotguns, though. Once you understand them, they can be really incredibly powerful weapon systems for most applications. So, myth number 2: you don't need to aim your shotgun because the weapon employs a pattern or a spread, if you will, of shot, namely with buckshot or birdshot, I suppose. People think or have the understanding that you do not need to aim a shotgun. That is not true at all. The reality is that if you only make a partial connection with someone with a shotgun, you're not going to get the full potential of the effectiveness out of the weapon system. The whole idea of the effectiveness of this weapon system is numerous wound channels being opened all at the same time, both being crushed by the channels that are interacting with each other and the individual pellets. That is what causes the shotgun to be so effective. If you only have, say, 2 or 3 of those pellets going in to, say, someone's side, it's not going to be nearly as effective as a full centered blast of buckshot to someone's chest. That will not be something almost anyone will, react kindly to. So these are incredibly effective weapon systems when employed properly. Part of employing a shotgun properly is making sure you're getting that good centered hit into an effective area of the target. If you do that, it is very, very rare, almost unheard of, for someone not, of course, when using adequate ammunition for the task, not having a one-shot stop with a shotgun weapon system. Alrighty guys, myth number 3 with the shotguns. Shotguns are inadequate for home defense or preparedness. So, there's some caveats with this for sure, but generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with the shotgun for home defense at all, given that you understand the limitations of the weapon system. You're not using opinions and myths to justify and to plan the use of the weapon system. As long as you're using good, realistic, proven data, and you're using good ammunition, good methods, and you're practicing with that shotgun, excellent weapon system for home defense. That being said, I do generally fall into the category that the AR-15 is a better weapon system for home defense. So let's talk about why you might choose a shotgun instead. So a shotgun is going to give you the flexibility. So someone that only has one weapon system or is starting off, shotgun makes a lot of sense. If they want something they can go deer hunting with, something they can go bird hunting with, defend themselves with, take camping, very few weapons are going to fill all those roles quite as good as a 12-gauge shotgun. On the military side, or the militia side, or the liberty preservation side, however you want to talk about it, shotguns are incredibly effective for breaching, of course, but also on top of that, they can be extraordinarily effective point weapons. They can also be extraordinarily effective security force weapons. So someone that is going to be pulling security in a position, and that is their only job. Their job is a security role for ambushes or LPOPs, or for other units that are doing different things, say a sniper element. Security people that are, their whole purpose in life is to pull security, can make really good work with a shotgun in in the right terrain, right? So definitely not something that you want to discount as a choice, though there might be a better option for whatever your intended purpose is. But keep in mind, it has to be loaded adequately, and you have to really understand the limitations and the pros and cons of the weapon system and employ them in such a way that it's going to be effective for you. Number 4. Shotguns tend to underpenetrate, or do not overpenetrate. So guys, of course, any weapon system can be loaded with ammunition that is going to be more or less effective in your given desired target. Unless you're worried about the fluffy bunnies or the quail coming after your house, I would not ever advise to use a bird shot for home defense or any kind of real purpose. So keep in mind, if you load a weapon with ammunition that would be considered by professionals to be adequate for the stopping of human beings or a dangerous game, you are going to have a weapon system, at least with modern technology, that if missing that intended target, it is going to overpenetrate. Just how it is. You can, of course, select loads that do so less or more with any good ammunition and any modern weapon system, to include shotguns, but that is just a reality of the technology that we have today. So until there's some crazy technological change that where bullets can sense what they're hitting, there is not going to be, that I'm aware of, a option where it will not overpenetrate with a miss. And given proper ammunition selection, overpenetration through the intended target shouldn't be a problem, given proper ammunition selection. And that's something you're going to have to research on your own to figure out what is right for you. Obviously, someone that has one weapon and uses it in remote Alaska is going to have different ammunition requirements than a person that is using one weapon system and living in a densely packed suburb, right? Alright guys, and for this episode at least, we'll probably do more of these in the future. I was going to use a more serious myth, but I want to talk a little bit of hype on the shotgun here, because they are freaking cool. So myth number 5: shotguns simply aren't fun to shoot. That's not a myth. That's just not real. Shotguns are freaking super fun to shoot. If you don't have one or you haven't had one, this is a good time to get back into them. The ammunition's super available out there. There's birdshot all over the darn place. We'll have some videos later shooting. I won't be using fancy targets probably, because this stuff just tears targets up, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about. If you guys haven't shot shotguns in a minute, man, they're super fun. Pull the thing out of the closet. Make sure she's clean. Get the rust off of her. This poor thing has been rusted all to heck. So I'm gonna need to give her a bath and get her outside in the woods and have some fun. Really, guys, these things are super fun, and they are extremely effective given proper understanding and application. But for something that can be as versatile as it is, and be as fun as it is, and for the ammunition to almost always be available, there's really not a good reason not to have a good pump gun around the house somewhere, right? So guys, find that excuse. If you don't have a shotgun in the collection anymore, definitely pick one up. They're super fun to mess with. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up in Maryland, and they have some pretty weird laws. So when I was coming of age, I saved up for an entire summer to get this thing, and I cut my teeth on this gun. You know, this is the gun I started learning with. First time I ever shot barricade drills or did any running guns. I mean, this was the gun I did it with. And I'll tell you what, to 17-year-old Doug, this thing was awesome. I understood the limitations. I wish I had an AR-15 at the time, but man, I'm glad that my first couple of years were spent on the shotgun. It teaches you a lot about manipulating your weapon system effectively, even when you have that recoil to contend with, right? So anyway, guys, if you haven't shot a shotgun in a while, get back out there and get on one. They're super fun. I know this is a rifleman channel, but we can have some fun every now and again. And if it's something that can be equally applicable to real-life applications, then that's all the better. All right, guys, this has been Doug with Nomadic Rifleman, because everywhere deserves good and capable riflemen, even if they're not necessarily running shotguns. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to try to make some more videos here in later in the day. Too early right now to be shooting. So I figured we make this video, see if we can have some fun, and look forward to shooting some. And this video was definitely not inspired due to the lack of rifle ammunition. That would be insane, because obviously you can go down to any store and get rifle ammunition right now. Strangely enough, I do want to mention, for some reason, even though everyone talks about how good birdshot is for home defense, no one's panic buying it. it turns out scared people don't buy birdshot. Super weird, isn't it? I know. I thought it was strange too. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, all that fun jazz. Y'all have a blessed day.